So this isn't going to be a particularly long video, and this is just something that I wanted to bring up because a lot of people don't really talk about this too much when talking about the whole Chris Bosh situation. That in the past that there was a player who did have a potentially life-threatening injury but was cleared to play. Hank Gathers is a player that a lot of people seem to have forgotten about, and he should never be forgotten. Hank Gathers was going to go probably number 1 in the 1990 NBA draft, and at worst he was going to go 2 or 3. He was the best player in college basketball at the time and was dominant. And who knows, could have been a superstar in the NBA. On December the 9th, 1989, Gathers collapsed at a home game against UC Santa Barbara, and he was found to have an abnormal heartbeat. He was prescribed with beta blockers, but he felt that it negatively impacted his game. So he gradually cut his doses back because he was no longer able to play at the level he was while taking them. After missing 3 games, he struggled, but then went on to score 48 points against LSU, who were led by Shaquille O'Neal. As the WCC tournament got closer, he never showed up for repeated appointments to test to see if the reduced medication was still suppressing the illness, and it was suspected that he didn't take them at all on days of games. On Sunday the 4th of March 1990, he collapsed at the end of the first half of a game in the WCC tournament. And 2 yards away from him was Erik Spoelstra, the coach of the Miami Heat, who was probably a big reason why Chris Bosh hasn't been cleared to play so far. And after this, an autopsy found that he suffered from a heart muscle disorder, and the Gathers family filed a $32.5 million lawsuit, which Loyola Marymount, his college, settled out of court for $1.4 million, and the cardiologist who treated Gathers settled for $1 million. So the thing is that he had a doctor clearing him to play, whereas he was in no condition to play. They also didn't check that he was taking his medication, because if you're a high-level sports player and you think the medication isn't affecting you play, you think you're fine. Realistically, you're not going to take the medication. And who knows, even if he was taking the medication, he still possibly could have died on the court that day, even with the medication, because of the illness. To be honest, the main reason I know about Gathers' death was during the 2006 NBA playoffs when Bo Kimball, who played with Hank Gathers, did an interview with TMZ where he urged Chris Bosh to not come back playing basketball, saying there's so much more he can do with his life and that Hank Gathers was in the exact same position as he was, and he decided to come back, and it all ended on the court that day in 1990. TMZ also interviewed Hank Gathers' brother, who agreed with Kimball that Chris Bosh should retire and should not play basketball anymore. So this is just a short video explaining why my stance is the way it is on the Chris Bosh situation, because I have done a little bit of research on Hank Gathers, and the fact is that his situation is very similar to the way Chris Bosh's situation is now. Even though obviously Chris Bosh feels he's okay to play, and I assume Chris Bosh has some of his own doctors saying that he's okay to play, no NBA teams are going to take a risk, and rightfully so. Hank Gathers was cleared to play. He thought he was fine, decided to stop taking his medication, and died on the court 2 feet away from Heat coach Erik Spoelstra, who again is probably another big reason why Chris Bosh is not playing for the Miami Heat. So anyway, that's the video. I know a lot of people are on Chris Bosh's side, but they haven't even looked at what happened to Hank Gathers, and hopefully, even if this hasn't changed your mind, it's given you a little bit of a different perspective from it. So anyway, that's the video. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.